All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, sound is on. I hit live stream and had to go get water, so deal with it. All right, market opens in a few minutes. And sorry, my office door didn't close. Hold on. All right, cool. So it's been a great week in the market for me. Let's see if we can have that continue. Although, a very interesting development late yesterday. We had the NASDAQ, which closed at all time highs and with a lot of gusto. So you can see here that the NASDAQ yesterday, after the normal market closes right here at 1300 hours, and then the NASDAQ closes like 15 or 30 minutes later, closes 30 minutes later, and just had this beautiful rally. Um, Unfortunately, it dumped immediately after market close because I think this was based on the DOJ is gonna investigate Google or something like that. Um, so we have the Nasdaq dropping lower. This was an all-time closing high for the Nasdaq. It was actually no, it was even with this high right here. So it tied an all-time high for the Nasdaq, and now we're not into highs anymore. So nothing outrageous, but just something to look at. All right, so let's take a look at maybe some pre-market movers, stuff other people are looking at. UPS up a little bit, JNCE. Looks like Netflix is trying to bounce a little bit. Uh, let's see what everyone's talking about. Whatever this is, SSMR. Wow, they had a hell of a day yesterday. Never mind, that's a garbage little stock. Ameren had results. Up at 1847, which is not much higher. So right about there. So, do they have results or news or something? I thought results were a little further out. Oh, they just announced they're reporting earnings. Perfect. Yeah, Ameren was pretty good. Or I'm sorry, TQQ was pretty good yesterday. Yeah, absolutely. Um, I'm not sure how the Qs ended up. They probably closed really good looking. Yeah, look at that. That was a great close for the Q. Second highest close ever. Good volume. I can't imagine that would change too much. All right, let's see what the stock says. Snap had a good report, up 10%. Cyber Team Yeti's down a little bit. LK down about 2%. This has been a big winner. You guys remember this name in the symmetrical triangle? That thing's been up huge. So I'm looking for something kind of beaten down. I did take a position in something Carvana yesterday. Right there. Actually, a little late. I think I took it right there. It's a little late to Carvana. But some of these pullback plays have been working pretty good for me. Chipotle Mexican Grill gapping up. Earnings as well. Beyond Meat gapping up. Looks like they're selling it off so far. Sand holding very nice and tight. Look at this thing on the 5-minute chart. Very tight the past few days. I rather like this. I mean, it was beautiful before it ran up, and then it ran up and forms a nice flag here. So maybe a potential for maybe a measured move or something. Take it up to 750 for Sand. Still not quite sure what Sand does. Looking at the longer term chart on Sand, got up to about 15 bucks. Has had as in 2012, has had a multi-year consolidation. Just breaking that right now is actually really, really nice. I'm ashamed I didn't jump on it, but stuff happens. You never know. All right, so Snap, oh, Beyond Meat, Griffles. There's a G I was looking at yesterday. Oh, Kiwi. I was looking at Kiwi yesterday. Look at this Kiwi chart. Looks very nice. Not perfect, but very nice. And I was looking for this maybe to try to start to follow through. Great day yesterday. Definitely a pocket pivot. Look at the volume. Not sure if it closed into an all-time high, or not all-time high, but in this range. Closed just beneath this one close over there. So it's a very good close. I think it barely got over 20.9, 20.9. So it tied. So it double topped right there. And we'll see how that one plays out. Gold up 0.64%. Wow, big pop up on the overnight session. I actually closed out my gold position yesterday because it undercut my trend line. The volume was pretty decent. Maybe I'll revisit if it can get some momentum and get back through the highs of this lower consolidation. I was trying to realize some of those gains I had, so I end up taking a lot of positions. Square, I thought is in an interesting place in the chart. I kind of have it on a trend line. It's just under a trend line right here, this one. But I think even more importantly than that little trend line, it came down, did have a nice drop the other day. 2 very low volume days the past couple of days. Yesterday was coiling action, actually, where you kind of have basically some up and down action resulting in a sideways result. And maybe some more of that this morning. So if it tries to break over 79, maybe 79.50, I may be trying to get involved in that one. All right, Snap looks like it's breaking its overnight opening range here, or getting up to the top of it. Very good volume this morning. Question is it going to break the channel? Which also happens to coincide with that, so it may. I guess if it gets froggy, that could get up to 20 pretty quick. So Beyond Meat up another % or so. Drying down a little bit here, though, is healthy. Carvana, how's Carvana? All right, Carvana's coming back. Yeah, so that's good. Yeti, I got into a stock called Yeti yesterday. Look at this thing on the weekly, man. Beautiful chart. Has a cup and handle here. And then goes on and has a tremendous run. Goes from 18 to 36, basically doubles. And then you set up with another cup and handle here, and it breaks out yesterday on tremendous volume. So this one's pretty good. Let's go see what IBD's got to say today. Caterpillar earnings miss badly. That's not good. When Caterpillar misses, that's not a good thing. That's a global growth indicator right there. NASDAQ 0.2, not really dropping at all, though. I'm not mad at that. Just hanging. I'm okay with just hanging. It's fine with me. LK down 145, was down 2 something. So coming back quite nicely right there. Nothing really wrong there at all. Amazon down 1%. Chopping around that trend line. Coming into earnings, so nothing really to do here. As earnings tomorrow. Good morning, Nick. YouTube's been kicking you off the stream after 10 minutes. Well, it can't be me, Nick. If it were me, I would have kicked you off the stream immediately the second I saw you. So, yeah, it's got to be on your side somewhere. All right, Snap, 13.5%. That 5-minute candle closed. Yeah, maybe this thing will go. Looks like it's got some pretty good volume. Oh, Keys. Great moves this morning. Kind of a V-shaped cup and handle, but, you know, it's a base nonetheless. Maybe for this thing getting back to 100 pretty quick could be a move. Our Carvana's up 0.37%. Snap, Beyond Meat, Sand. That Keys is pretty nice. SGH, what is this? What? How am I not involved in this? This is beautiful. What is this thing? SGH. Just broke a trend line, broke over the 50 and the 200 day, both in, look at that, there's your 200 day, there's your 50, both in great volume. What is this thing? SGH, huh? Got maybe a run to 40, but it's already run up significantly. Yeah, it's pretty expensive at this stage. The volatility on this one is through the roof right now, so not a lot to be gained right there from the options perspective. All right, Cyber popping up after a pretty bad shakeout day yesterday. I actually closed my Cyber position yesterday. I wanted to raise some cash. Count was in a good spot, so I raised a bunch of cash, and fortunately it's still in a good spot. Probably be in a little better spot if I would have maintained some of my positions, but I'm in a very good position with my cash position, so I'm not mad at that. So what I do have left is pretty good. I got Square, which I'm hopefully waiting to, this thing will get a little froggy. I'll be able to buy this. You know what? Let me throw an alert right there for Square, because I'm looking to add to this position possibly. Yeah, well, see, I've got options, Rob, so it's a slightly different strategy, but I mean, actually after I closed it went on to stage a nice reversal. I held it through this morning pop, and then it started dropping down here, so I closed it down here somewhere. See, like I said, I have options, so I have time horizons to think about, so it's a little bit different. I mean, the chart is still fine. Like I said, I was just trying to close stuff down to lock in some profits. So I closed like 4 or 5 positions. I had too many positions, and I needed to close some, so, you know, I closed some. And maybe this one was a mistake. I mean, it doesn't look that bad at all. You're fine in it, Rob. Don't worry about it. Trust me, I close positions and they continue higher, so we can't win them all. Good water. Yeah, I do have quicker time frames to think about. Although, to be honest with you, my Cyber trade I did have until December, so I was basically flat in it, and I just wanted to free up a bunch of capital, because my account, like I said, I doubled my account from the lows of last year, and so I really didn't want to give up any gains. It was much more of a defensive move than it was anything else. All right, Roku coming back today. This one could be interesting. Let's see, maybe not. Yeah, pretty good volume. Came back down to the breakout point, undercut it. Not my favorite. Ooh, Carvana 1.21. Yeah, buddy. This is one of the ones I held. Or actually, I bought this one yesterday. So this, yeah, I I got a little too froggy earlier in the morning. Um, I will say this is that I've been doing a lot more position building after the show here and kind of towards the middle of the stock day. For whatever reason, things tend to move around that time frame. Um, so you may see me, one day to the next have different positions because that's the way things have really been working lately for me. And I'm a little more active too. Not active in the sense of trading, or I'm trying not to be very active, but just active in the sense of I'm on the computer a little bit later in the day, more often than I used to be. Anyway. All right, let's go top down. Snapping out 15%, up to $17. I mentioned this thing could run to 20. It's a nice large number. Really good volume this morning on Snap. This is could potentially, maybe it's the start of a larger run. Who knows? But that's a really good day for Snap. I didn't get involved in that. Oh, this guy's saying Nokia breaking from a coil. Maybe. There's earnings, though. All right, Sand's looking not bad right here. I'd like it to have more volume, but, is what it is. Carvana, very good start to the day here today. Beyond Meat, not bad either. Grifols, Roku stalling a little bit up there. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I got rid of Match too, Rob. I was on the fence on Cyber in terms of getting rid of it, and now I kind of regret it. But I did get rid of Match. It came down a lot more than Cyber did. I didn't like, yeah, but even this one kind of re-solidified itself towards the end of the day there. So, yeah, we'll see. I may end up getting back into Cyber. You never know. I had a good option. I could buy the same one again. We all make mistakes. Sherwin-Williams, very good day yesterday. ESNT down at lows looks like it's trying to break out of the lows, which is good. Biomed has earnings coming up. Overstock. Etsy looks good, waiting for a breakout. Looks like it has earnings coming up. What's up, Eli? 8-1, so it's in about a week. There's Overstock again. My Kiwi's down 2%. Okay, backing away from a breakout. And LK's down a little bit today, too. Not bad, though. Volume pretty small. We'll see how this does today. Wix. Looks like Wix is trying to break out. Is that a flat base in Wix? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like a flat base in Wix. Very flat base in Wix. Let's zoom this out. Okay, so there's a cup with maybe a high handle, which means it's kind of late in its run, actually. It technically wouldn't be a flat base. AMD. How's AMD doing here? AMD with a nice little curl trying to get up. That would be pretty good. You've got, ooh, my SQ alert was triggered, y'all. SQ Will the real SQ please stand up? Okay, maybe I'll add to my SQ position. Yeah, I think I'll add to my SQ position down here. Ah, shoot. I just noticed earnings. Damn it. 8-1. Could be Eli. Yeah, it could be. But I was looking at it yesterday. I really like the look of it, and so I'm going with it. So, yeah, I'm just rolling with it. Could be a little bit of a stretch, but I really like this coiling configuration here, how it was throughout the day. Probably reminds me a little bit about my trade I did an LK a few days ago. Right here, I bought LK right there towards the end of the day, and it ended up having a really good result. That day was this day, or this day, I forget, one of these 2 days. And this one rounded up pretty good. I don't anticipate Square to really rally 20% right here, but I do like the coiling. That's called coiling. I do like the coiling action, and yeah, hopefully it can move out of the lows. It didn't move much lower this morning. You see, yesterday it opened here and kind of moved lower and came back. Here it kind of stayed pretty strong. Maybe trying to. So here's the daily chart. Maybe trying to get back to healthy. It may not break out immediately. It may take a few days. And then unfortunately, I got a little too happy and didn't notice earnings wasn't a week. So I don't know. Maybe it'll bounce up here and I'll get up before earnings with a little bit of profit. So if it goes up, we'll see a bar pattern. That's funny. I see stock charts and crypto patterns. You see crypto patterns and stock charts. Oh, that's hilarious. NASDAQ doing pretty good here. 0.16 down, which doesn't seem like it's down 0.16. How's it down 0.16? The close was here. How is it down? I don't understand. Well, anyway, I think it rolls over at midnight if I go intraday on the NQ. Let me just double check that. No? Yes, I did get out of Beyond. Yes. 1330. No, it closed at 1330. It closed. Oh yeah, so the futures market closed up here, which is why it says it's down. Oh, okay, I guess that makes sense. It's just weird it doesn't reflect it on the daily chart. Speaking of Beyond Meat, let's go take a look at it. Yeah, I did get out of the reason. Well, so again, I had options, and my options for Beyond Meat expired August 16th. So I still had a couple of weeks left. I mean, I guess I could have held it, but I was up so much that I'm just trying to not. I'm just trying to lock in profits at this point, Eli. So I was thinking similar things, but I really wasn't happy with this choppy action in the morning yesterday. So I closed half of it because I was up 100%. I closed half of it up here when it started to break over here. I closed half of it right there, and then it moved up a little bit in the morning, then started caving again. I really was not a fan of this choppy action. I was up like 120%, so I just closed the rest of it out on the way down here. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to get greedy. I'm not going to let this turn into a 50% gainer or a 40% gain. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. So I agree with you, though. On a general basis, the chart isn't broken by any stretch of the imagination. But I was talking to Rob earlier. I ended up ditching it for I'm doing some defensive closes because my account's in a really good spot. So I'm trying to maintain those gains. AMD. Yeah, AMD's actually looking really good. We glanced at this once this morning, and I think it's in a pretty good spot. You almost have a cup and handle. I mean, it wouldn't be an IBD cup and handle, or would it? Maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't. Well, first of all, let's see how big this base was. 54. Okay, so this is all new base territory right there. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this could, I mean, potentially be a flat base. This could, so you actually may have a loose base for an ascending base here, a loose case for an ascending base. Being one base, being two base, this maybe being a third base. So maybe your breakout's going to be here. Now, earnings are coming up on AMD, the 30th after market. Yeah, pretty good volume this morning, though. And it is kind of curling up out of a low area. It's a little wide right there, but you can see right, right there at about that 33.35 level. Right there. So started up at the end of the day yesterday, breaking up from that little low trough, and now it's curling up today. Looks like it's pausing here a little bit. Let's go from the top down here again. We got Snap. Really good earnings yesterday, apparently. They gapped up to 16.5, and they actually cut over the trend line here, which can be really bullish or mean a pullback in. Chipotle also with good earnings. Carvana with a bounce back play. Beautiful bounce here. I got into this one yesterday a little bit late, but I did end up getting into it a little bit. How are my options only up 2% today? That seems weird. Anyway, Carvana looking really good. Too late to get in here. You're at a very weird point from a risk reward perspective. I had this to 67. It's at 64. It really should be. I really should have more profit than that. It's only up 7%. That's weird. All right, Sand stalling a little bit as it tries to break out here. Winnebago just popped up. Winnebago, nice little bounce over the 50-day moving average over here, the solid blue line. A Biomed crossing my trend line this morning. Look at you. With earnings on the heels. But it's looking pretty good. Unfortunately, I have those pesky earnings. I mean, that'd be really great. They're over 281. Look at this thing on the weekly chart. It's just a big, huge, lovely base. And probably everyone's forgot about it. Which is perfect. I love these. But with earnings, I can't get too heavy with that. Or I can't get heavy at all with that. ZTO, my buddy ZTO, you're up here. All right, is that a double bottom base? It is a double bottom base, and that's our breakout point right there, is the 20 level, also with earnings, but a couple weeks, so about 3 weeks out for this guy. This isn't too bad. Doing okay this morning. Looks like Cyber. Yeah, I do kind of regret closing this option now because it ended up being really nice yesterday. So I don't know. We'll see. Look at both of these closes too. I should have waited to the close. That's got to be a rule that I have, but it can't be a rule that I have. Not with what I do. But look at these closes on Cyber. I really do like this, so keep it, Rob. Look at that. Closed way up into the base. This one also tried coming out of the base and closed way up into the base. So definitely some movement right there. I think Cyber is gonna have another nice little pop there. Maybe like I said, maybe I'll re-enter. As it did break out of this base on really good volume, about a week or so ago right there. So Cyber looking really good. All right, my buddy ZTO may be trying to get with it. I can't say this is the best chart, though. I don't know much about the earnings. Talking about CRWD. All right, that gap up on earnings is still holding. Gold. I did close out my gold trade yesterday too. It undercut my trend line, but it's back above it, so I may have just been shaken out of it. We'll see. It's not quite back to my resilient level. I'm gonna throw an alert right here. Let's see how that one works out. Yeti's down 1.5% today. Looks like it took a U-turn a little bit, stalling it. Looks like it did pop into all-time highs there for Yeti. So that's good. Buddy LK and my buddy Kiwi not doing very good. Okay, so let's get... so there's Cyber. There's Team. Oh, I bought Team yesterday too. I bought Team off of a 50-day bounce. Oh, it's got earnings coming up too. 725 after, so tomorrow. But yeah, I bought it like way down here on a 50. Oh no, it was like right here. I bought it right there on a bounce in the 50-day, and it's already up like $3-4. So that was a pretty good bounce. Kind of at a resistance point right here. I don't know if I would jump in on this one quite yet. How's Cyber doing? Oh, Cyber's breaking up? Maybe. Oh, yeah. Cyber's going. Damn it. All right, so what did I have yesterday on Cyber? And of course you're going to... Oh, yeah, there you go. Good job, Rob. Come on, keep going. I want to get back in my Cyber trade if I can. December 2130. Yeah, I got shaken out of that one yesterday. What? That's weird. Oh. Always fat fingering orders these days. Caravana doing good. Team doing good. So Team is a good... Yeah, I don't know as far as Team being a good buy. Like I said, it's kind of at a resistance point here. It's got to get over the resistance point, I think, for it to be a good buy. Also, the problem is earnings is, I think, tomorrow after market. So I don't know if I'd be jumping in on this guy too heavily. I do like adding a little bit of square down here, though. You know, needs some volume, but it's pretty good. Oh, Yeti's coming back. Look at that. Yeah, I don't think it's that difficult, to be honest with you, Rob, because that could be the pop that you miss. You know, it's a pretty decent pop for Caterpillar. I think they're buying it back up today. But the general point is that the whole point of trading, you have to protect your account. I mean, period. There's plenty of gains to be made between earnings seasons. Like if you look at this chart, notice it's not just one big gap from 40 to 140. They have little gaps here, but there's a lot of money to be made outside of the earnings day. And so it's an unfortunate risk that is part of what we do. And avoiding that risk, unless you have a large, like, look, if you're up 40-50% in a stock and you want to hold through an earnings report, that's okay. You've got a nice cushion. It may pull back 10, 15, maybe 20%, but you're not really in danger of losing your initial capital. But if you're just putting money to risk for the first time, losing 10 to 15% of your capital is outside of what should be most people's stop loss rules. And yeah, they are a complete crapshoot. You could have a really good earnings report that gets sold off. You have a really crappy earnings report that gets bought up. So unless you can find a really good option strategy around earnings, it's best just to stay away. All right, Cyber pulling back a little bit. I didn't pull a trigger yet on it. I'm 2 buttons away from entering a position, but haven't quite yet. I was just giving it a little bit of space. SQ looks like it's flagging out up here pretty good. Match.com. Cyber's got more volume. You could argue Match has the better base, though. All right, go Square, go. Carvana. Look at Carvana today. Very nice. 3% towards the high of the day here. That's a nice reversal. Nice reversal in Carvana. Okay, up 17% in Carvana. That looks better. That's more I was accustomed to. I don't remember what my profit target was in Carvana on that trade, but it was pretty good. I gotta say, guys, I'm having some good luck with these pullback buys in these nicer consolidations. Like I tried this one here, it didn't work. I tried it here, and I'm basically, well, I don't remember what I ended up losing on that last one. I guess I could look. 1489. That's where I bought it for. Carvana. Quite a bit. 775 to, oh, maybe not too bad. 7.75 divided by 5.9. 30% it looks like. But only about 1. So I'm in heavier now, and yeah, I'm probably about break even from what I lost in that prior Carvana pop. Yeah, I lost about 25% of that position. So I'm basically positive even after taking this loss into account over here. This is a much better point. I like that there's like a little mini quasi doji close right there. Right there. It's kind of like a doji close. A little bit of confidence in this guy. I'm all in on trades with a few good setups. I need to add in more cash to my account, I think. But I have our discussion of Roth in the back of my head still. Um, yeah, I mean, dude, you should, if you're going to trade, number one, in my opinion, you should be trading in a Roth IRA. Point blank and period. Because number one, it's money that you can't touch, so you don't have any weird emotions about it. Like, I'm so detached from my Roth IRA, it's ridiculous emotionally. Yeah, iRobot got slammed on earnings. Yeah, good thing I never jumped on that one early. Yeah, it got hit last night. I did see that. Forgot about it till you mentioned it, but I did see it. Yeah, pretty crappy. But yeah, so I mean, but a Roth IRA really is great. You get to keep your gains tax free. You're detached from the money. It's a completely, I mean, it's kind of like, it's almost like you're trading someone else's money, minus all the pressure, which I think is really good. In my opinion, you probably should trade in a Roth IRA before you trade with cash money. So if you're profitable in your Roth IRA and you've been profitable for a couple of years and you want to do some trading for cash, then I think that's okay. But yeah, I think you probably should do a decent amount of trading in your Roth. All right, let's go top down here. We got Snap consolidating up there at the highs, not really continuing the run so far. CMG looks like it may take Snap's place with running. Sand. I noticed Sand earlier on, didn't do anything about it. And it looks like it's going up. Volume's a little bit low, but it's not too bad. Someone's mentioned LRCX. Oh yeah, that's not bad at all right there. And Beyond nice and tight. I'd like to get back in Beyond if it'll reverse up for me. Match.com. I was going top down. Okay. Snap, CMG popping. That's a new high for CMG. That one could be a good one to get in. I don't have a trade set up for this. But it's definitely intriguing. Quite a bit of volume here, and breaking the high of the morning there is very, very good. I'm not quite sure where it would go though. Like, what's the? I guess that's your base, and so 20% would put you at 875. Let's go see what we can do at 875 with CMG. Next question is, what's your time frame, Randy? Not that far out. Okay, so 875. $10.7. So that's 65% from right now. Little not good for me. Not for my stuff. All right, Cyber. Yeah, Cyber breaking out. Good stuff there. I'd have been in a better position if I would have held that. Beyond. I may re-enter this one if it perks itself back up. I don't know. I do like ABMD, but it's not really doing much right now. ZTO potential. Match.com looks like it may want to try to pull back up. Winnebago, Atlassian. Looks like it's stalling a little bit there at a prior high. Grifols, Fox Factory coming back. Coming back. Little engine that could. Square looks like it broke over that little prior high. Or I'm sorry, intraday. On the intraday chart there, it broke up over the high. Pulling back now, so we'll see how that one plays out. Now, GH. This one with a beautiful pattern, unfortunately, it hasn't really started running. It may at some point in time, but I don't know when that's going to be. Etsy looks pretty good. I do have to say I'm not mad at the Etsy chart. I just can't say when it's going to actually pop. It may melt up a little bit, but gold stalling, up stalling, Chegg. Qualys, my buddy Qualys, still Still pretty sideways, still within that symmetrical triangle pattern. Oh, GE. I noticed GE late yesterday. Look at this GE chart. I got to say, I kind of like it. Look at GE. You got a bunch of people jumping ship here. Right there. And then the buying, and then it remains fairly steady right through this area here for like the last part of last year. For about a month through December. Volume remains high, never makes really a new low. And then starts putting in a bull flag. Now I have a higher level consolidation. Earnings coming up, 7:31. So that's about a week. I'm looking at a trade here. I'll show this to you guys. I want to know your thoughts on it, especially you, Eli. You're the gut check guy around here. So GE right here. If you take this measured move, that takes you up here to about $14. So if you take GE to $14, there's a crazy, insane, and I don't know about this trajectory, but you take 14 out to this trend line, takes you out to October 11th, and I've got, so there's October 18th, as much as 852% for a GE measured move play. Going out to October. You want to give it some more room? You got 400% at a 13 strike price or 365 at a $12 strike price. Anyway, something I'm thinking about, and I'm glad I kind of came across it today. Oh, this one's 1,150%. What? No way. That's 1,150. All right, I'm going to watch that one. Anyway, so that's the risk reward there. Yeah, my target on GE is this measured move here. It's about 14.72. So I'll duplicate this to show you where I got that from. So I got that to the high of that from about, it's not even quite at the low, and it's not even quite to the high. So I'd put it where I think the breakout should be, to about where we broke out from. It could go a little bit more, but like I said, it could be a little more conservative and take a little more time. But it's either I do October 13.4. Well, let's see what 13.4 gets us. I mean, it's not going to be. So that's down to about 400%. And then you go over here. You're looking at I do the $12 strike. You're looking at about 226 if you want to go to December. So it's just a thought I have. I haven't really, jumped into anything yet. I think I may have a pullback or something. Yeah, I don't know. See, this is, I don't know. GE's been a very, very tricky tricky stock to really make any money on. But this is, I see this in cryptos all the time. Actually, talk about bringing cryptos into stocks where you have a drop, a pop up, and then a sideways consolidation. These usually have some kind of a pop after them. Now, it could fail, obviously. Every trade can fail. But this one has just a stupid risk reward on it. I think one of the main questions, and this is probably the most important question here, is the time frame. Maybe that's a disingenuous time frame right there, because let's take it off of that. Although, actually, I guess... that could be one of them. Okay, that one's about the same line. If you go off of the lows here, you're looking to go out a little further. This takes you out to... Oh, no, I was giving it extra time. I was taking it all the way out to 10.4. Okay, so, yeah, it's about, yeah. So, okay, so Eli's kind of giving it a bit of a green light. Yeah, I guess I just got to figure out if I want to take it and what kind of risk I want to put on this play. This is honestly one of those times I wish I was better at alternative options strategies. Because I think a play like this, if you can get, if you could do like sell some puts or something like that, and then buy some calls, you can probably really limit your risk and still have that potential for 400 or 500%. So that's a $12 October. So that's not too bad. So just in terms of an options play, that GE is, there's a potential there. Definitely a potential there. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. These are kind of things I was going for in. Well, the earnings on. See, that's the problem, Rob. GE has been in a huge slump for a long time. Um, they would really have to blow earnings out of the park here. Now, and to be honest with you, I think I talked a little bit about this yesterday. Didn't I talk about this one yesterday? I think I did. Anyway, I think you'd have to play this before earnings. If this thing gaps up after earnings, you're going to be up here at $12 and everything's going to be gone. This is now going to be a 150, 175% play. In which case, to me, it doesn't make sense anymore. It may still work. That's fine, but I don't know. There's something about the major risk reward down here makes, so let's say you're willing to risk. It gapped up over here, buddy. It gapped up right over here. That's the other part. Gapped up. Now, it's not Big Daddy anymore. Keep that in mind too. It's not Big Daddy anymore. It's like number 12 or 15 in terms of market cap. It does have the float is massive on it. It does have a huge float. But anyway, all I'm saying is that if it does pop, it'll kill the options play. So maybe it's a thing where maybe I take a smaller position before options. That's my gamble play for the turbo booster, and then if it does pretty good, then I can level into it. Now, I wonder what happened here. 225. Let's see if we can get news. I doubt it. It's GE. Okay, can't get news from 225. Maybe FinViz will give it to us. What happened on 225? There's a big gap up right there. I'm ignoring the rest of the market. Carvana 3%. Cyber pulling back a little bit. ZTO, Team, Square pulling back a little bit. Gold actually holding pretty well. Yeti came back down a little bit. So nothing's really changed. I think this GE play, yeah, look at that. Even FinViz has a kind of a chartish pattern recognition. Even they have mine's a little bit higher, but they've got that right there. So, I don't know if I can go news. Nah, see, they don't take news past early either. Anyway. Just a beautiful setup. Volume's really dried up. I think this thing has really good potential. A lot of potential here, right here. Pretty good right there. My water's condensating. All right, Cyber 2.78 come back a little bit. Carvana looks like it pulled back slightly. All right, let's get back to standard operating procedure. No, Carvana's looking really good, man. Bounce play on Carvana yesterday was really good. NASDAQ, I really like what the NASDAQ's doing today. Really happy with that so far. Square looks like it pulled in. No major follow-through volume. Condensates on the walls. We could have had that here past couple of days. It's been monsoon here in Arizona. My whole entire yard was covered with pine needles yesterday. Just the whole thing just flooded with pine needles. All right. What do we got here? Snap, CMG, Beyond Meat getting on with it. I may have to re-enter this trade. We'll see. Let's see where I exited this trade. I don't know. I don't want to chop up too much. I don't know. I gotta figure out what I want to do. I have a ton of cash. Like a ton of cash. Because I closed a bunch of stuff out yesterday. Yeah, I was trying to protect those gains. So I closed a bunch of stuff out yesterday, and I have a lot of cash today. Like the trading portion of my account, I don't know. I'm like probably at least 50% cash. Let me add it up. I'm over 50% cash. Yeah, I'm like 60% cash in my trading portion of my account. So not counting the TQQQ portion. So I've got a ton of cash here, and I'm kind of happy. I mean, it's good, man. It's awesome. Very happy. Yeti's stalling out here a little bit after a great breakout day yesterday. Even before earnings on 8-1, so I got about a week. Although I'm not sure this one's going to get very, very far either. Only up about 13% on Yeti. Could close that one out. Anything drove it yesterday? I don't know if anything did. 23rd? No earnings or anything moved it yesterday. Just a breakout. Just a breakout on Yeti. Good volume. Focus. Let's go from the bottom up here. We got NSC. That looks ugly on the daily chart. That's better. All right, Funko. Not quite getting with it. LK. I like LK. I still have some LK. Unfortunately, I ditched like 80% of it. So I think literally I have $420 in LK. Although my cost was $165, so I can't complain. I derped hard today. Talk about AMD or SQ curling up. We didn't talk about curling up. We talked about AMD a little bit. AMD had looking better right there too. AMD has a couple of scallops going on. And I did mention potential for an ascending base here. Although, it could just be it getting towards all-time highs right there in AMD, but just going back to last year. But yeah, it looks really good. Oh yeah, SQ looking bardish. Yeah, you did mention something about that. Yeah, AMD looks good. Earnings coming up. Looks like 7:30, so that's a week out as well. Everything has earnings in a week, so I may have to play some of these runs for a week. Then yeah, SQ looking kind of bardish on the daily chart, which I'm not too mad at that if that occurs. I like these very low candles down here. I was hoping for a little bit more volume here. Maybe it'll work, maybe it doesn't, but it's trying. So yeah, I don't know about that one. All right, let's go to the global list. I haven't looked at this yet today. Manhandlers Associates, which is not their name, it's Manhattan Associates. Whoa, big gap up today. Wow. That's a huge gap. Look at all-time highs here back from 2015. That's taking that out. Wow, that's beyond gone. Edward Life Sciences, very similar situation. Hasn't broken out the daily range. That would be a buy over 220 for EW if it gets up there. GHGX, LAD, NIO up pretty good today, 5.4%. NIO is actually not horrible. I think Eli or someone mentioned this one a couple of weeks ago, and I don't remember. Someone did say something about NIO. Maybe it was even after this. Maybe it was like a week or two ago over here. Today, not in a bad spot. Very good volume. Earnings aren't for a while. 8.15, so you could play this one for a little bit as it tries to kind of round over. It did break right there, so NIO is not too bad for the first time in a long time. NXPI looks like breaking out today from a symmetrical pattern right here. XON looking okay. VIPS okay. AMC pretty choppy. GNC, Skyworks, AMBA. We're moving over Cyber here, which is okay for now. RTC, not bad. That's not bad. Micron continuing with just a nice run. Micron's been on a nice run for a while. Hard to jump in on that one. RTEC, ABG, Cena, TMS, T-Mobile, GMed, Newer, Carvana. Ooh, coming in. Xilinx, very nice. AMD looks really good. Planet Fitness. That one could be good at some point. Not today, though. ZTO holding up there really close to that $20 level. I think that's important for ZTO. I like that a Biomed chart. BECN, that looks pretty good. What's this? Old Dominion Freight Lines. What's at the bottom of this list? No, what's up, babe? You need something? It's not in the bag? Or oh, okay. Old Dominion looks pretty good, trying to break over that trend line right there. Good volume the past week, although it has earnings today or tomorrow. Tomorrow before market, so it may as well be today. Our $100 stock, good question, Rob. Should have written that down. It's on the actionable list, isn't it? I guess I can just fly through here real quick and see. Oh, Beyond looks really good right there. GH? No, it wasn't GH, but that also looks good for breaking through at 100. Qualys? I don't think it was Qualys. Oh, maybe it was Qualys. Yeah, it was Qualys. Yeah. See, this never broke 100, which is why it's a little bit nicer. But it's not really actionable yet. It started to poke its head over, as we know right there. And, yeah, it didn't really do a heck of a lot. I'm hitting delete, man. There we go. Yeah, so this is not doing a whole lot. Maybe it'll break up here after earnings, and then we can try to buy it after earnings. But yeah, Qualys, yeah, you're right. That's the one. All right, Cyber Nasdaq going for highs there, almost flat on the day. Cyber, Carvana, pulling in a little bit. ZTO very nice and tight. It's just been unable to get over 20. All right, Beyond Meat looks like it's trying to break a morning range. Maybe it'll get running again. Maybe not. SQ still looks healthy. I like the ZTO play. If it can bounce up. If it can bounce up. It's a nice basing structure. Let's look at daily movers. Where's daily movers? Oh, there we go. Oh, my cheap stock screener. Oh, it added it over here. That's interesting. NGD. Wow, that's a bull flag. Look at that thing. That's nice. That's really nice. Wow. It's also stupid cheap. And it has options. Oh, gosh. That's dangerous. $1 stock with options. Mobile prayer, pretty good. AXU. I'll breeze through this. Ooh. Buy all. NASDAQ's green, guys. DHT. Wow, that's pretty. That's really nice on the daily chart. Look at a lot of pocket pivots. I have to pull my volume aggregation tool to see what it looks like there, but it's got quite a bit. DHT, what is this thing? Yeah, this looks really nice. That's going to go on the actionable list. What's the price on that one? $6? That's not a bad spot. Yeah, I think with these stocks, I'm looking for a very, very specific pattern. So I'm just breezing through looking at the weekly. That's pretty close to what I'm looking for, but not as tight as it needs to be. That one's okay. Oh, that's interesting. GSS over $5. Whoops. Our daily movers, we got Snap, Teradyne. Look at that. Look at the double bottom on the weekly chart on Teradyne. Whoa. And a handle to boot. And it broke out today. And its 30-minute range is way up here. So not much to do with Teradyne yet here. Navi. Edward Life Sciences. Oh, there's that NGD. I think we just saw that. I may just have to pass on it due to it being $1.60. Sprint gap up. Discover Financial Services. Wow. That's a heck of a gap. That's a heck of a move. %10 from the buy point. Pretty extended at this stage of the game, but after earnings, wow, that's not bad. Used to work for Discover. Wonder if I still have any stock. I doubt it. Wix. Wow, they've been going all day, all this morning. Looks like an earnings-based thing. They had earnings last night. Chipotle on GNW. Chesapeake. I see Chesapeake a lot, but it never makes any money. All right, Beyond Meat's here. Again, RC. ADI. And then sand is down here at the bottom. Okay. All right, so let's go top down on our list here. Then I'm going to get going for the day, guys. We got Beyond Meat looking pretty good. Not looking too bad at all. Actually, sand, cyber, holding up there pretty good. And not really, Rob. 160 means that it's it's going to be super choppy probably. Usually when you have those very low dollar stocks like that, the problem with low dollar stocks, Rob, is that institutions cannot invest in them. They usually invest in things that have certain average trading dollar volumes per day. They also have float requirements and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that go into it. It's not just the price. It's how many shares there are, how many shares turn over per day, all that good stuff. Is ZTO holding really tight up here? Look for that one maybe to make a move. GH just, I like this GH chart. It's not broken out unfortunately, but it's just hanging out. That's not too bad. Team coming back. Square continued on. Nice. And Fox has just been a non-stop beast. Grifols Etsy. I really like this Etsy chart. The problem with it, though, is I think it's going to have another shakeout or two, so it's hard to really get invested. Plus, it has earnings coming up. That's always difficult. ServiceNow also has earnings. 720. Oh, that's today. Now with earnings today. Oh, aftermarket. Okay, and then there's the conference call. Okay. Sherwin-Williams, pretty tight after yesterday's very nice move up. STZ, Qualys, Intuit, INCY. This one may have to be removed from the actionable list. Disney, OKE. I wonder if a pullback by an OKE is even warranted. Nice. Look at the V bottom on the 5-minute. Wow. It's a beautiful reversal for OKE. And Twilio. Kind of want to remove Twilio from the actionable list too. Shop. Yeti. LK holding nice. INSG. Still waiting on that one. Funko. Anik and Kiwi. Norfolk Southern. See you, Norfolk Southern. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Have a good day. Yeah, so it looks like we're doing okay today. Kind of a few good earnings pops, but not a lot of really major rallies. Snap looks like later in the day, if this can curl up and break its opening range here. of that 17.4. That could be a really good little mini cup and handle right there actually on Snap. So that could continue on to the $20 level. Plus, if you want to look at that, and some of these other ones too, look for those daily ranges. Beyond Meat still looks pretty interesting. Yeah, with earnings, I think it's on Monday, 7/29. So keep an eye on some of these. Carvana bounce going pretty well. Sand, Cyber looks really good, Rob. Good job. Hold on to that unless it just dumps on you, in which case you got to cut it short. DHT, our newfound friend here. It's always good to have a new friend in the mix. And ZTO over 20. So look for some of those signals to pop up, elevated volumes and stuff like that. See you guys tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye.